Hi guys, today we will animate a bouncing ball using Sclera. Alright, so I've created the first project called My Amazing Project. I'm going to enter that project and we have the scene number 1 in here. I'm just going to click it. Alright, so I'm going to press H, or I'm just going to click on the hand tool right here. I can move around the scene, I can zoom out. So the first step I'm going to do is create another layer at the bottom right here. I'm going to call the top layer ball, and on the second layer I'm going to call it ground. So I'm going to click on the ball frame right here, the first frame, and I'm going to select the circle tool. I'm going to hold shift and create the circle. I'm going to select it and choose a different color. And let's give it a different stroke width, which is going to be 10. And there we have it. We have our first ball. I'm going to right click it and I'm going to convert it to symbol. And I'm going to call it a ball. Now, why did I do that? If we go to the library, we have the ball appearing here. So you can imagine symbol is like a reusable Lego pieces for your animation. You can drag the ball and basically reuse that same component for your animation. If I double click the symbol, I will be able to adjust it. For example, let's change the color to something like green and then go back to the main scene by clicking scene 1 right here, and you can see all the same components. Ball, for example, has been updated to use the color green. So let's remove these balls out of here, and now we have the ball itself. Let's center it right here. Great. Now at the bottom, let's select our ground frame, and then I'm going to create a ground, a simple rectangle. I'm going to select the rectangle tool and I'm going to add the ground like so. I'm going to select it, choose a different color, for example something like dark gray. Perfect. All right, let's just position everything. Great. Now I'd like to animate the ball going from the top, hit the ground, and bounce back up. How can we do so? Well, it's very simple. So let's go to the timeline, and I'm going to right click somewhere around 1 second right here, and I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to insert a keyframe. As you can see, nothing really happens if I press play. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, just so you can see. I'm going to drag the ground layer, the first frame of the ground, I'm going to drag it to the right, so that we can see it in the stage the whole time, so that the ground is not disappearing. Great. Now in the ball layer, I'm going to the center, I'm going to right click and insert a keyframe. And then in that frame, I'm going to grab the ball, I'm going to press Q, and I'm going to drag the ball to the ground, like so. Now if we press spacebar, we can see the animation going. Now, obviously, it's not so smooth. So what we're going to do, we're going to go somewhere between the first keyframe and the second keyframe, somewhere around here, right click and add a tween. So if we press spacebar or press play, we can see the ball is falling smoothly, but it's not going up. So we're going to go from the second keyframe to the third keyframe, somewhere between, right click, add a tween, and then we can see the whole animation like so. And there you have it. You have your ball bouncing. Now, obviously, it's not so smooth. It's not perfect. So what we can do, we can actually click somewhere between the first tween, click anywhere, and you can see something on your right in the properties. You have something called easy. We want the ball to start to fall down and then smoothly go up. So how can we do that? We will click on the first tween. We will select ease in, which is this button right here, and on the second tween we're going to click on ease out, and if we press play, you can see the bouncing is much more smoother and it looks so much better. I think one small improvement is that when the ball hits the ground, it should kind of squeeze on the ground and then go back up, right? So how can we do that? If I'm going to zoom in the timeline right here, and I'm going to create 2 frames, one in here and one in here. And then in the middle frame right over here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. In the middle frame, we're going to click on our ball. We're going to press Q, squeeze it a little bit like so. And we can kind of make it squeeze on both of the sides like so. Okay, great. Now, if I press play, you can see the ball is squeezing at that one frame and it goes back up, which is very cool. Amazing. So that's your very first animation using Sclera. You have your ball bouncing. So what happens next? So now let's export your animation to a video so you can upload it to YouTube or any other places if you want. We're going to go ahead and hover over this area. We're going to press File, Export, and keep it as MP4. Just keep it like so and press Export. And there you have it. You have your very own bouncing ball animation created by you, exported to a video, and now you can upload it anywhere you'd like.